Each June, the North End Neighborhood Association and Boise Pride Festival team up to hang rainbow flags across Harrison Boulevard. And this year, for another year in a row, some of those flags have been torn down. I'm your North End neighborhood reporter, Riley Shoemaker, and you can see some of those pride flags across the way right behind me. But then right here on this lamppost, it is missing flags. And that's because earlier this week, an estimated 20 flags were vandalized or stolen.
What happens is these guys that are going around destroying these either just pull up and they pull on the flag and it just bends the pole. Sometimes they get them out and sometimes they just cut the flag off. So
when North End Neighborhood Association President Eric Hagan heard the pride flags on Harrison Boulevard were damaged yet again, he decided to take action immediately, banding together with other neighbors to create new flagpoles. Police are now investigating after roughly 20 flags were stolen or vandalized. 2 damaged on the night of June 3rd and the rest reported on the morning of June 11th. This is the 4th year in a row pride flags along the historic North End Street were targeted. I spoke with the Boise Pride Festival representative, who told me the organization condemns the recent acts of vandalism targeting the pride flags hanging on Harrison Boulevard, and that they will work closely with law enforcement to identify those responsible.
it's like, why do people want to waste their time and energy on that? It confounds us, and it's not what the North End neighborhood is about at all.
Longtime North End resident Leslie Scantling mirrors that sentiment.
It's just a little bit sad that somebody would take it upon themselves to, tear down a little bit of what we're all trying to do by, lifting each other up.
Scantling is the founder of Flock Cancer, and each year her organization hangs flags along Harrison Boulevard, which North End neighbor Shelley Smith points out have never been stolen or vandalized.
There was no problem when we did Flock Cancer. We need to stay away from controversial flags on the boulevard. They just keep taking down and destroying the flags, which is a shame. It breaks the holders. That just makes me very sad.
This most recent act comes during the nationally recognized Pride Month and during a time that some Idahoans have been outspoken against embracing LGBTQ values. At last weekend's first ever Canyon County Pride Festival, a small group of protesters shared their opposing views. Meanwhile, in the North End, Hagan and his neighbors will focus on replacing those flags and speaking out against hate and vandalism.
It's just sad to see this kind of hatred in our neighborhood. It really has no place.
Hagan told me he hopes to have all 20 flags back up and waving by the end of Wednesday. Police are still investigating the incident and ask that anyone with information call Boise Police.